When people call you a China hawk, do you embrace that, Kyle? Just for lack of a better term, you're pretty strident about your views about China. So what do you make of what we have witnessed? Because it started out presumably as a national security issue. Is it still a national security issue, and was it necessary to be one right at the start? And have we taken steps to lessen the potential damage?
Well, first of all, I like to consider myself a China realist, not a China hawk. Unfortunately, it's China's own policies that have put them in this situation and overplaying their hand. When you look at TikTok, or you look at WeChat, TikTok's 800 million users worldwide, up to 100 million users in the US, and they are very close to the Chinese government. Their data collection policies are aggressive. If you've read the white papers, the cybersecurity reports. And what's fascinating about this is China controls the narrative. It's what they do best. If Goldman Sachs is going to open up a wholly owned subsidiary in China, China requires Goldman Sachs to have their data held in China, i.e. it can't leave. And so in this case, the data collection, data storage, all goes through Beijing for TikTok. So there are two problems with national security. Number one is the fact that the Chinese government has the aggressive data collection policies through TikTok. Number two is TikTok's algorithm can influence the thinking and the minds of U.S. youth over time because they control that algorithm. And that's, of course, the algorithm they don't want to give up. And so whether you're talking about China, or whether you're talking about or TikTok or WeChat, those things have to be controlled.
Like a serious national security threat, and one that we were, in your view, it was a good idea to take a position on. Is there anything in this deal that allays your fears that it, do you feel like the deal itself answers some of your fears and solves the problem, or it's turned into a trade deal, kind of a business deal, hasn't it?
Yeah, look, from my perspective, Larry Ellison is probably one of the single most patriotic CEOs in America. The fact that Oracle will control, if it works this way, if Oracle will control data collection, data storage, and prevent data from going to China, and Oracle can also control the algorithm that may influence the youth of America, then more power to Larry Ellison and Oracle. And Walmart, I think, as a lesser partner. But if, in fact, China isn't going to go for that, then I wholeheartedly support the Trump administration's policy of shutting it down.
So the way that it's structured right now and the ownership and where the servers would be and all that, does it satisfy your concerns right now, or does it not?
So, look, from my perspective, Joe, as you know, I'm a hedge fund manager. I poll down there with the Chinese Communist Party and congressmen as far as likability, but I also don't have a technical background deep enough to tell you that I've read every document looking at exactly how the technical specifications of the deal are controlled by the National Security Council. I just feel like I'm not.
Okay, if it doesn't, Kyle, you said you'd want that you would back shutting it down. Wouldn't that make things worse overall for just trade with China? We just had Barry Diller on saying that this is protectionism at its worst, and we started it, and et cetera, et cetera.
Barry Diller obviously hasn't read through the decades of data that are out there, and most recently what's gone on with Chinese social media, their wolf warriors, and the CCP apparatus. Look, there are 4 wars we can be fighting with China. Number one is the kinetic war, where the U.S. has the top kinetic war department in the world. Let's hope it never goes there. Number 2, cyber war. We've been fighting a cyber war with China since the early 2000s, and we have one of the top war departments in the world. The 2 other wars that we can be fighting with them, the economic war and the information/narrative war, we don't have war departments for. And China's been fighting those against us since it ascended the WTO. So Barry Diller has his opinions. I'm sure he has investments in China, and I'm sure he is some way trying to profit from this. Look, I don't have investments in TikTok or Huawei or ZTE or WeChat, but I try to call it like I see it. And what I see here is a grave U.S. national security concern.